What up, y'all? What's popping? DLD Glowy Gang. Yes, sir. Mr. Telhart, Mr. Brand, Mr. Depugnificent. What's cracking, fellas? I gotta say, I was a little torn this evening because Mr. Mitchell Black, how are ya? Gun Talk and Two-Way Radio. Well, this will be Skip Green. What's up, man? Chris Schumack. I was kind of in between two, okay? I've been seeing a lot of conversation about, no, not another 80 build, but at about 1 a.m. tonight is the 48-hour point. So I'll be able to assemble that. I don't have all dedicated parts just for that, but I'll fill you guys in on it. So I'm going to bring this up before I begin, okay? Though this isn't typical for us, I think it's important to cover the RN50. Okay? Oh, nice. I was just watching Crumpy too. Not because, what's up, John Rice? Not because, like, we're, a gun channel and that's what we do. But because there are millions and millions and millions of views of all these channels that are all saying that one specific thing. I'm not going to say which direction, okay? But they're all saying one specific thing. And this one specific thing could be dangerous. It could lead people to hurt themselves. What's up, Carmus? So I almost feel like compelled to share about the RN50, but I didn't want to jump into that tonight. I wanted to, for sure, I wanted to jump into something that we've already discussed it before. We actually had a guy come on our show. I don't know if you guys remember the guy that, I'll explain it in just a second, Matt. We had a guy come on our show that survived Katrina. Okay. And he was able to share his experiences, and it was a good show. And that's something that you can't put a price on someone explaining their experiences of surviving a without rule of law situation, right? Like that's, my daughter did that little American flag back there at school. It's good to see her not come home with a dreidel or a, yeah. Anyway, so I'm rocking that. So, that back there. What's up, Shredder? Super Shredder. Yeah, it was a great show and really genuine dude. It's a guy that I personally know, so it was kind of, even cooler to have him come on. And what's up, No Guns Allowed? And he had said that he found a prepper group. This was, years back, and that they were actually able to interview a guy. Well, come to find out, this guy that they interviewed, there's an article about him and his story that was on a survivalist board, which we're going to actually review tonight. We're literally going to read his recounting of 365 days of living in a world without rule of law. Oh, hold on. I should invite Loki on. I'm down. I like how you said, "What's up, Guns Allowed?" Because you didn't want to say No guns allowed. So stunning and brave, Bacon. Stunning and brave. Okay, so we're going to go through that, and we're going to literally review this because I was already inspired to, hearing the things that were said from our guy Goy before, a different Goy, not the guy that's in our community, not your average Goy, a different guy who goes by Goy. Interesting how that's coming up more and more frequently. Anyway, so we're going to go through that, his entire recounting of that year without rule of law, which is powerful, okay? It's sad, powerful, upsetting, exciting, like discouraging, encouraging. I mean, like it's a roller coaster of emotions, okay? But I did want to just touch on, so some of you know from the comments, I can tell some of you know, some of you don't know, and that's okay. Matt, remember we said we were going to send a care package to Kentucky Ballistics. Well, we should within the next week or less if we can, just to kind of get moving on it. But the RN50 is the single shot 50 BMG that's made with an M2 barrel and a lower receiver, and the essentially the barrel it's a break action, and you unscrew a threaded end cap, and you drop the single 50 BMG round in, and then you thread it all the way down. It has the firing pin component like enclosed within the cap, and then essentially you like literally cock a hammer and then pull the trigger, okay, and it hits, boom. All right. Well, Kentucky Ballistics fired a slap round out of it, and the slap round was, I mean, there's a lot of different theories, but let's just say, for the sake of saying it, that the slap round was way too hot. It was dangerously loaded, and due to the firearm's design, yes, the Serbu single shot, yep. Due to the firearm's design, it detonated, and there was no relief points for the explosion, except directly back in his face and jugular and all that. And so I am going to do a video on that, and I feel like it's important because even Mark Serbu just put out a video a few days ago saying, hey guys, the RN50 is completely safe. And I have a little bit of an issue with that. And I know not everyone agrees with me, okay? And I know like this stream is not about the RN50. However, I do think it's important that we acknowledge, like, the possibility of something happening. If you are in a car accident, okay, and you smash into a brick wall going 80 miles an hour, and the seatbelt works, and your airbags go off, and blah 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 blah, whatever, like your seatbelt locks up as it's supposed to, then you're likely not going to be decapitated and die, okay? Now, if you smash into a wall going 80 miles an hour and your seatbelt splits and your airbags don't go off and your driving column goes through your throat, then you can't say that the vehicle is safe. You can't be like, well, that was just the slap round. It's designed to take that pressure of that 80 mile an hour crash into a brick wall. Well, clearly it's not, because there were safety. Okay, sorry, this is something else, but it needs to be discussed, okay? And even if people disagree or not, it was the muzzle brake. Yeah, it was brutal. Yeah, my 4-year-old accidentally saw that. Um, but either way, we are going to address it because it's something important that firearm owners that think they can jump into. No, I believe you. I just actually didn't know until you said that, and then I realized that you were serious. So that's important to know. But people that want to jump into the 50 BMG game for $1,500, it's well. So I understand what you're saying. I understand that, and that is the debate. If people are just running like American Eagle 50 BMG, they'll likely never have a problem. But let's just say that there was an accident at the American Eagle factory and they loaded it too hot. Firearms are designed specifically for accidents to happen. Okay. And that specific one has no failsafe, but blowing everything in your face, neck, chest, torso, like that's the only escape path. And I know not everyone is going to agree with me. This is a polarizing topic, and everyone's going to say how stupid I am and, all that stuff. So go ahead and put in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10 how, ridiculously uneducated I am, and then we can move on to another topic. But I get what you're saying, and there's still no fail-safe, right? Now, one should know the needs more slap. He didn't slap the barrel before he. It's all good. By the way, he survived because he stuck his thumb into his freaking jugular and kept himself from bleeding out completely. Dude is a boss, and I don't know. I want to send him something because he's just a man. He's just a guy. He's a nobody, just like us. So let's take care of him. If any of you guys want to donate something to send to Kentucky Ballistics, let me know. It could be the smallest, silliest, stupidest thing, and but I'm sure it would mean a lot to him. No, I mean I wouldn't say he's a dumbass at all. Yeah, any gun can blow up, and those also. Well, yeah. So it's all over the internet, right? Like I don't want to do this like like to gain popularity or anything like that, but it's something that needs to be discussed. Just because like if we could avoid more explosions, that would be important to me. If someone's jugular vein doesn't open up because we did a live stream, I would love to do that. Oh, what is this from Mr. Telhart? Is that a kukri? No. No. Bro, is that a Nepalese Gurkha kukri you're working on, Matt? It's gotta be. That wood is beautiful, dude. Wow. Hey, you still gotta black out the Ford on your hubcaps, man. Agreed. It was preventable. Oh, Persian fighter. Nice. It was preventable. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, part of me kind of wants to bring the article up, but I guess I want to give you guys like I don't know, an idea of like what things were like at that time. And I guess this would be a good way to do that. Oh, snap. I see a light in the darkness.
Smile and shoot.
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Just got done hanging out with my my friend and my neighbor. He's going through a hard time right now. Family member, soon to go. So I was hanging out for a little bit and trying to tell
tough,
him
man.
through work tomorrow, go see that person because there's only so many days on this earth that we are here. So might as well make the best of it.
Yeah, man. No, I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's tough. So I know you and I spoke, and we discussed the whole RN50 thing, but we just kind of had like a brief conversation about it. Just that we're gonna have another conversation about it, another stream about it, and this stream, I think, I want to give them valuable information about that guy that the article was published on. That lived in, a world without rule of law in Bosnia for a year. Okay. And what we'll do is I want to give kind of an idea of like what shit was like during that time. Let me know if y'all can. There we go. So literally like decaying buildings with bullet holes and mortar shrapnel all
We're talking about Bosnia, right?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, when I went before I graduated high school, we had a guy there. If I'm not mistaken, his name was Atnad, and he was from Bosnia, and he came over as a refugee. And some of the other kids that were refugees at my school from quote unquote Bosnia, he would always point at them and say, they're not fucking Bosnian, they're Serbian. Or I do believe he was saying Serbian because I guess they were in a conflict with them and they were interlacing to be able to get over here in the States and this and that. So he was very untrustworthy, and he's actually seen some shit when he was over there. And this is a high school kid when I met him.
Oh yeah, it's pretty intense, man. I'm gonna read through this, and I guess the best way is just to start. Hold on. Yeah, guys, remember it's now the AFT. Okay, it's a very different organization. Why is this not?
Hey, Matthew Tellhart, how you doing, brother?
Yep, Opie, you got it. Selco, yeah, that's who Selco is who I'm actually referring to. So, okay. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just jump into it. So, stop me at any point if you or anyone in comments has any questions. You know what? I'll just go ahead and share it while I do it because I want people to be able to see this. I'll have to take a note. Started the live stream at 19 minutes and 52 seconds in, so people know they can just skip through our 20 minutes of conversation. Okay. All right, how are we doing over here? Boom, beautiful. Okay, so how I survived a year of SHTF in the 90s in Bosnia. No electricity, no food, no running water, no law, In a now legendary forum thread, a user named Selko tells preppers about his experiences and what he and his family did to stay alive. In September of 2011, a user named Selko joined the forums at survivalist boards and posted the SHTF experience in wartime, a thread that would become legendary in survivalist communities and beyond. In fact, you frequently see people reference it to this day in communities like 4chan and Reddit. In it, Selko details his experience of living in a besieged Bosnian town of 50 to 60,000 people during the Bosnian War, which was 92 to 95. The siege took away everything modern humans. So listen to this part, guys. This is important. The siege took away everything modern humans take for granted and tested with extreme brutality Selko's and his community's ability to survive. So we're talking in everything that people take for granted, which will come up here literally in the first paragraph. But what is so interesting about this war story is that it was told to a group of survivalists or preppers. That was the group that Goy, was with, who had questions, lots of questions. How does barter work, and which survival strategies are worthless or bunk? How are the social dynamics when everyone realized there was no law? What really happens, and what kind of tricks do people actually get up to get by when faced with essentially the apocalypse?
I would say there are no tricks that people get up to. Literally,
No,
it's life and death. There are no tricks.
never that. And they're kind. They share water in Dixie cups with electrolytes. Okay. Well, let me check comments real quick. Okay. Besieged. Okay, I want to share with you my own experience. He says, be patient because, his English is his second language. I'm from Bosnia, and some of you may know it was hell here from 92 to 95. Anyway, for one whole year, I lived and survived in a city of 50 to 60,000 residents, and this is what I was talking about, without electricity, fuel, running water, real food distribution, or distribution of any goods, or any kind of organized law enforcement, or government. The city was surrounded for 1 year, and in that city, actually, it was an SHTF situation. We did not have organized army or police force. There were groups of defenders. Actually, anybody who had a gun fought for his own house and his own family. Some of us were better prepared, but most families had food for a couple days. Some of us had a pistol. A few owned an AK-47 when all of it started. Anyway, after 1 month or two, gangs started with their nasty job. Hospital looked like a butchery. Police force vanished. 80% of hospital staff went home. I was lucky. My family was big in that time. 15 members in one big house, 5 to 6 pistols, 3 AKs, choppers. So we lived and survived, most of us. I remember the U.S. Air Force dropping an MRE every 10 days, or MREs every 10 days. God bless the USA for that. As help for surrounded cities, it was just not enough. Some of the houses had little gardens with some vegetables. Most did not. So think about that. Most did not. Do most homes have vegetable gardens in the U.S.? Nope. Sorry, you still with me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I muted my mic.
No, you're good. You're good. I just didn't have my eyes on the screen at the time. Okay.
Wait, hold on 1 second, Dark. I just want to kind of elaborate on what you just read.
Yeah.
They were actually a flourishing, it doesn't even have to be flourishing, could be a sustaining society that they were living in. where they had structure, they had goals, they had an end game, they knew what they were going to do, whether they wanted to work on a farm, whether they want to become a businessman, this or that, whatever it may be. They were moving forward and coming up for the most part. And when the revolution, war, stupid people making stupid choices that got everybody screwed over in the end, people don't understand. This is one of the things that we keep on explaining. This is before they have a internet connection to your water spigot or to your electricity or this or that. This was literally tear down and, basically let people starve until either they retreated, they backed down, they did this or that, or until the regime that, was fighting over the country was done and over with. They went from literally living just like you, me, Dark, and everybody else, whether you're making good money, you're a carpenter, you're a floor sweeper, server, it doesn't matter. But the minute something like this happens, you'd be happy to have a family of 15 people. You'd be happy to have, um, let's say you have 15 family members and 5 of them can't stand guns and fucking all this other crap, and they want freaking all these stupid ideas to happen. You still got 10 more that are going to be protecting these ones. And guess what? They're going to end up figuring out. They're going to figure out, yeah, I might actually need a gun. We might need to hunt for food. I might need to protect myself or my family. And when you have no ammo, no food, no resources, and like what you were reading in the article, Dark, what did it say? After a week or two, all of a sudden the gangs started prowling about.
He said a month or two, but I don't know. That seems like a long time.
He probably wasn't witness to the early beginnings. He just saw a larger group when they finally came to his area, or maybe these are decent people and it actually took a month or two to be able to happen. Either or, this is one of the things that I've explained to a lot of people, and Dark's going to know where I'm going with this. All that zombie apocalypse BS that they were pushing down our throats, Walking Dead, World War Z, all this other crap. I think that was to desensitize people for when we have loss of power grid structure, infrastructure, all that. And the roving groups of people, they're not zombies. They're just hungry people looking to feed themselves, their kids, their group, whatever it may be. And I'm do we have this gentleman in our chat, or are you just reading this article, Dark?
No, I'm just reading the article.
Okay.
It would be crazy to get him like on our channel.
Because I'm really curious to ask him this one thing that I talk with you and Doug and have mentioned to a couple other people, which I don't typically mention out loud. The most dangerous people you can have in an end of world survival situation, SHTF, the end of rule of law as we know it, whatever the hell you want to call an acronym, is people with kids. If you have kids, yeah, you'd be willing to lose an arm to be able to feed your kid. Most people, or at least a finger. And if there's another group that you're connected with, and it comes down to me feeding my kids for one more day, and your kid's going hungry, they're going to choose their kids. And I really would like to talk to this gentleman and ask him about this kind of subject on families turning against other people that, clicked up together to be able to try to ride this out or grow from it. Because I know there's good examples, but at the same time, Dark, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think having a large family, a lot of people see that as like a challenge, an additional challenge, or even maybe a hindrance. But you got to think that the additional able-bodied people are like, paramount to survival.
15
Yeah.
people is a militia, and growing grains and breaking down wheat and making bread and all that. 15 people is enough people to actually have a decent little setup. But also 15 people can be a militia.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just to jump in and mention a couple things in chat. So, yeah, the 40 round PMags run 100%. I've never had a malfunction in the 40s. Yes, like I rock the 30s like all day, but I love the 20s too, especially in PDWs. You can't beat the 20 rounders.
Hey, Dark,
Um,
the PMag 40 round, does it say P40?
I don't think it says P40. Let me see.
Because I went to the pawn shop today, just looking for some freaking tools that hopefully maybe somebody put in the shelf, and I can't see.
It just says PMag 40.
When I went to that pawn shop, they had what was it, 20 rounds of 223 for $15, green tip. I was like, that's actually not a bad price.
Yeah.
They had 22 and stuff like that, but they had a P40 M4 slash AR, and it said Magpul on the bag, unopened for $24.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Those are great mags, dude.
So 40 round Magpul is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, I love them.
I have no
Um,
experience with Magpul, honestly.
dude, I love. Yeah, they're great. All right, let's get back to this before we lose people. um, okay, so uh, some had gardens with vegetables. Most did not. After 3 months, rumors started about first deaths from starvation, deaths from low temperatures. We stripped every door, window frame from abandoned houses for heating. I burned all my own furniture for heating. A lot of people died from diseases, mostly from bad water. Okay. What do we always talk about? Understanding, how to filter water, how to clean water. We built a portable still on stream for you guys. We talk about water purification techniques all the time. And that is the pure killer in a WROL situation. Two of his family members died. They they died due to lack of water. We use rainwater to drink. Several times he ate pigeons. One time he ate rat. Money was not worth shit. We traded things. Black market worked. A few examples. For one corned beef can, you could have a woman for a couple of hours. That sounds bad, but it was a reality. As I know, we jokingly discuss, like, in the WROL SHTF situation, like women, like, pouring themselves out for a Bic lighter. Like, we're joking, and at the same time, it's serious, right?
Hey, Dark, I want to add on to that. And just being honest from here, because I was in the Navy, I've been overseas, I've talked to plenty of women, respectable or women of the night, you name it. End of the day, just like here in the US, everybody is here just spinning around on this thing, whether it's a pole or a skin flute, um, to be able to finish college or to do this or do that. A lot of times people have drug habits, and overseas, believe it or not, there's not a lot of drug habits that these women are going through. This is literally a profession and a business that they're being paid so they can raise their kids, their family. A lot of
Get
these
food and water.
Say again?
Get food and water.
Right. And now if you're talking about one of these situations, there's a lot of girls that are going to not intentionally go towards this method, but they're going to end up figuring out real quickly that this will get them paid and put them in a position of some type of comfort, or knowing that they're going to be able to eat or be able to provide for other people depending on the situation. It's freaking horrible. Now, one thing I want to show everybody, and Dark, I apologize, I'm kind of jumping in here from time to time, but does everybody see this?
Yep.
That right there is a 275-gallon tote. You can typically pick these up for like $75 or something along those lines. This one right here is almost like $1,000, and this came from my old job, like 10 years ago. You guys can see how thick this is compared to my finger, just on the upper ring. That's the thickness through all of this. That's going to be my rain barrel. And like Dark was saying earlier about the whole fact that we keep on telling y'all about a little bit of self-sufficiency, just collecting your own rainwater. That's the best way to start, because you can go and pirate food as much as you want, but when it comes down to it, you can only carry so much water.
Yep.
I'm doing my channel under my name, but I want Dark to start taking my videos and ripping them onto the DLD channel, to start showing some of the DIY stuff that I'm starting to accomplish. I didn't record, beginning, middle, and after any of that crap, but I will start doing stuff like that. I just need to know that people are interested and or want to ask questions, and I want to be able to help everybody out the best I can.
Maybe
And
we can take your channel and just turn it into the DLD builds.
really, all right, you're gonna have to tell me how to change my name without changing my name for every other Google or YouTube information.
Yeah, yeah. We can go through that. Also, our audio is like interfering with each other. So when I'm reading through, you may want to mute until you come back on. And you can
All right.
still feel free to like interject and all that. I'm just saying, just kind of.
Yeah, no, I got you. I just want to let everybody know, I don't have any ear pods in. I lost my ear pods like 2 weeks ago, so I'm literally listening to the speaker on my phone. So sorry if the audio's crappy. All right, Dark, I'm gonna mute. I apologize, man, for interrupting.
No, you're good. All right, cool. So, hold on. Someone said my name. Yeah, IBC totes. Dark, remember he burned furniture for heat. Alternatives to distillation will be necessary. Absolutely, 100%. We'll discuss that too. Okay, so a few examples. For one corned beef can, you could have a woman for a couple of hours. It sounds bad, but it was the reality. I remember most of the women were just so desperate. They were desperate mothers. Candles, lighters, antibiotics, fuel, batteries, rifle ammo, and of course, food. We fight like animals for that. We fight like animals for that. Let me go back through it. Candles, okay? People prostituting themselves for candles, lighters, antibiotics, fuel, batteries, rifle ammo, food. We fight like animals for that. In a situation like that, a lot of things changed. Most people turned to monsters. It was ugly. Strength was in the numbers. If you were alone in the house, you've been probably robbed and killed, no matter how well armed you were. Anyway, war ended, again, thanks to America. And again, God bless the USA for that. It is not important which side had, which side was right in that war. And I'm paraphrasing in some of this because of his English. It was almost 20 years ago, but believe me, for me, it was just like yesterday. I remember everything, and I think I learned a lot. Me and my family are prepared now, and I am well armed, stocked, and educated. It is important. It is important what going to happen: earthquake, war, tsunami, aliens, terrorists. Important thing is it's something is going to be basically that it's going to be something. So whether it's an earthquake that causes an issue for a week, or something that totally kills the grid, be prepared. And from my experience, you cannot survive alone. Strength is in the numbers. Be close with your family, prepare with them, choose your friends wisely, and prepare with them too. And at the end, this is my first post, and my English is not so good, so don't judge me too hard. First question: how did you get around safely? Actually, the city was broken in something like a lot of street communities, like the grids. In my street, 15 or 20 houses. We organized patrols, 5 armed men every night to watch on the gangs or the enemies. We traded things between people in the street. 5 miles from my street, there was one street with something like organized traders, like kind of like a farmer's market, but it was too dangerous to go there. It worked only during the nighttime. During the day, it was a sniper's alley, and you had more chance to be robbed from there than to trade. I used that street only 2 times in the entire year, only 2 times. And believe me, only when I absolutely really needed something badly. So I remember speaking with Goy on this. He had said that this guy would say that the people that would go to the farmer's market, the place where people exchange things publicly, when they left with something, even if they had nothing in their hands, if they left with something, they would be grabbed, harassed, patted down, shakedown, robbed, and sometimes killed. And what they would do is literally go in between houses. They would cut through abandoned homes, backyards, go zigzagging through grid streets just to get to somewhere to trade a bag of guns for a Bic lighter. Like seriously, that was one of the things that was mentioned. What about wood? It looked like there are many forests around your city. Why did you have to burn doors and furniture? First, thank you for your questions. I did not expect this amount of interest for my post. I'll be glad to share a lot of things with you guys because I want to learn a lot of things from you. Anyway, Bosnia had a lot of woods and forests when you check the map, but I lived in the city closer to the Croatian border, more to the south. I don't want to mention the name of the city, but if you check a map, south part of my country, closer to Croatia, is all rock, essentially. And up here it says, Selko didn't want to specify the city, but based on his description, it could be Livno, which had 40,600 residents in 91. Now it's 34,000. Wikipedia. After the end of World War II, Livno was a part of the Socialist Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina in Yugoslavia. After its collapse in 92 and during the Bosnian War, it was under control of the Croat Republic of Bosnia. Let me go back to the comments and see if I'm missing anything. Okay. Oh, you have his book. Nice. Nice. All right, cool. I'm going back to it. Just stop me at any point, and Light, feel free to stop me if you want to add something into. Yes, we had some trees in my city, parks, fruit trees, but most of the city is buildings and houses. But believe me, all the trees in the city are going to be burned very fast when you don't have electricity for cooking and heating. After that, all what you have is furniture, doors, wooden floors, and believe me, that stuff is burning too fast. There was almost no car in town because most of the roads jammed with ruins, abandoned cars, destroyed houses, stuff like that. And petrol was like gold. I want you guys to remember this because we have been offering to share with everyone a way for you to make fuel at home. Okay. And if you are unfamiliar with that process called pyrolysis, then let us know and we will send you the PDF so you can learn how to make diesel, kerosene, and uh, petroleum, gasoline. All right, sorry. Okay. If I needed to go somewhere, I almost always use the nighttime. Never go alone, but also never go in a big group. 2 to 3, maybe. Always armed. Very fast, always in the shadows. Through ruins, rarely openly on the street. Actually, always hiding. We did not have suburbs and farmers. In suburbs were enemy army. We were surrounded with the enemy army. And inside town, you did not know who was your enemy. And yes, there were organized groups of gangs, 10 to 15 people, sometimes even 50. But also, there were normal people like you and I, fathers, granddads, decent folks, who robbed and killed. There was not too much good and bad guys. Most of us was gray, ready for everything. Question, did you prep and what kind of skills did you need? Of course you can ask. We used what we had. We were not prepared for the situation. We did not know for prepping. So you can imagine in some aspects we go back in the Stone Age, actually, in most of them. We just used everything that we had. One example, I had in my propane or butane, I'm not sure, so big bottle cylinder. I'm not sure if that's the right word. And I did not use it for cooking or heating. It was too valuable. I managed to build or fix the bottle with my friend so I can attach a hose on some kind of ventil. Sorry, my English is going down here. So I can fill those disposable lighters. They're not disposable if you know how to, refill them. Those lighters are worth a small fortune in the boog. To make story short, somebody bring me empty lighter to me, and I fill the lighter with gas. Usually I took 1 can for that, or 1 candle, or whatever he could offer me. I hope you understand my example. My English is poor on some things. One more example. I'm a registered nurse. Ooh, game changer. In times like that, my knowledge was a thing for trade. And yes, be trained, be educated. In times like that, it's worth a fortune. If you know how to fix things, all your goods are going to be exhausted one day, but your specific knowledge can be your food. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Light, you can feel free to add anything that you got to.
I'm listening. I'm just responding in chat right now. Obviously, I have no problem taking the torch and keep on running with it. But I'm going to shut the hell up right now and finish my reply, and then I'll get into it with you.
All right, cool. Yeah, if you need the PDF, guys, go ahead and email me. Don't forget to mute too, brother. It's like popping. Yeah, email me at thedarkestmavis@gmail.com, and I'll get the PDF to you. Okay, I'll jump back in it. So that's something that's huge. Your specific knowledge, your skills and abilities can be your food. If you guys see that here at the bottom, like now middle section. I mean, learn to fix things. Shoes for people, I imagine. Whatever you can.
Can I
My
jump in,
neighbor,
Dark?
yeah.
So basically talking about the whole Bosnian thing and about all the crap that they had to endure to be able to get out of there or stayed there or died there or even still suffering there, or they're living there now. I don't know what the scenario for everybody else other than the author for this article. But the one thing I will say is I have Cuban family members. My neighbor across the street is full-blooded Cuban. He came over in 1998 on a boat with like 60 to 80 other Cubans, and he happened to be one of the lucky ones that got to stay here and file for U.S. citizenship. He very bad at English. His wife's a lot better than him, but absolutely love the gentleman. One thing I will say is, and I can't remember, and I've said that I was going to look into this. There's a documentary out there on the Cuban lifestyle, on the Cuban ingenuity, and it's showing them taking ceiling fans from like the 1940s, 1950s, 60s, whenever they finally shut down, and then modifying them to be able to work with a car battery and then turning it into a trolling motor, or turning a inboard boat motor into a motor for a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. Legitimately, these people had nothing. They're on an island. They're embargoed. There's no new trade coming in other than shit that the Russians are bringing, or people coming over from other South American countries on boats, fishing boats, this or that. So there's not a lot of stuff coming in, and it was tightly militarily regulated. So my neighbor has talked to me about these elections and everything else, and he's like, we left this for a reason. But at the same time, I went over to my neighbor's house earlier. Dark was trying to give me a call up, and I was calling him when I was leaving, and I was letting him know I'm hanging out with my neighbor who's building his boat, my Cuban neighbor. Well, he's not a mechanic. He's not a somebody that does hydraulics. He's not an electrician. He was in the Cuban Navy, which they called the Cuban Marines, and he was a diesel mechanic back then. Other than that, he works for a tree care company. But living in Cuba, he had to learn how to take a car motor and turn it into a water pump to be able to pump water or fresh water out of the ground for his cattle. He had to learn how to do this and this and this and that. He didn't have YouTube. He didn't have a sketchbook. He had trial and error, and also some other people around him that have done the same thing and ended up succeeding. Everybody in here has the ability to Google, to YouTube, to figure shit out. Just even write simple damn notes. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is when all this power goes out, internet goes out. If you have no notes, what are you going to do? You're just going to go with the crowd. You're going to panic. I know I don't have enough food growing in my garden just yet. I know I don't this and this, but I have, ideas on where I'm going to go from, certain location, or do this or that for food for my family. Most of y'all have no idea on even how to generate a little bit of electricity just to power up a cell phone for the flashlight. We're all in this together. Y'all need to ask questions, reach out. We want to be here for you. And Dark, dude, I am so happy that was the article that you decided to read. And that is completely 100% on point, because it shows, the fascism. It shows the political side. It shows what happens when you no longer have a police force or, rule of law. It shows what happens when you don't have any supplies backed up, or you don't have enough people, or you don't have a tank to collect water. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That can happen any day here in the U.S. And
Yeah.
everybody takes it for granted. It literally can happen any day.
Even if it's just a bad storm, like this whole thing about, like, I know we talk about the booze, we talk about, like, all of this stuff, but like that's just like the, you know,
Dude, I was without power for 4 weeks. I know that's not Katrina. I didn't have flooding, but I'm here in Florida. I was without power for 4 weeks and a couple of days. I had a lot of food in my refrigerator, and I didn't own a generator at the time. Go ahead and figure out all that shit. You know what I mean? Fucking struggle and try to contact somebody to buy something at 10 times the normal price.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys think ammunition, firearms, MREs, like those things are way overpriced right now, man, when they will never be made again, at least, at a reasonable time, right? When the hope of something that was like production, or the hope of that ever coming back, was like next to none, imagine the value at that point. Big lighters. For those of y'all talking about it, um, these kinds of dry packs, they're in Mylar packaging. You rip them open, and then you drop the dry pack in something, right? You can throw them in your gun safe or whatever. You can get, a box full of packs for super cheap. Those are good. I use those in conjunction with the rechargeable dehumidifiers. All right.
Hey, Dark, you mentioned Zippo lighters quite a lot. And I'm
Big
definitely...
lighters.
Say again?
Big lighters.
Big lighters quite a lot. I apologize. I'm jumping to what I was going to bring up. The reason why, and you know what, I'm on the same page. Cheap lighters, big lighters, it doesn't really freaking matter. I'm sorry, I'm using two phones, one with a light, one without. The reason why it doesn't really matter is because big lighters, cheap lighters, when the fuel runs out, if you don't have the means to be able to refill it, it's basically dead. It has a flint and a wheel to be able to spark it. If you have a Zippo lighter, you can literally pull it out of the sheath. Hold on. Pull it out of the sheath. You have this flathead right here. You unscrew it. You take that burnt Bic lighter or cheapo gas station lighter. You take that flint, you put it in there, screw it down. Now you have flint. You got gasoline, kerosene, rubbing alcohol, 151. You can squirt it in here and make sure that you have a pretty continuous fire source, as long as you maintain the fluid in there, or the fuel. So yeah, I'm not knocking Bic lighters at all, but just know Zippo is one of the things. When I was in the Navy and you went to Turkey, you could trade in 2 Zippos and I forget, a couple other BS items, wouldn't cost you more than $20, and you could get a professionally hemmed and sewed leather jacket. You could get a marine grade Turkish shotgun. I'm like, legit. These were some of the things you could get with 2 Zippos and one or two other, minute things. But I would highly recommend having a Zippo, just because you can take the flint from other lighters, and any type of fuel source that you have, you can be able to have a usable lighter with you. What do you think about that, Mark?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I think the Bic lighter thing, I think, is just kind of from like a standpoint of like how many flicks you get, but any lighter, right? Like, I mean, some lighters you can actually generate electricity with. Zippo lighters, you can use more than just Zippo fuel to run those, right? There's a bunch of different things you could do. So anything that creates flame, and Matt had a good point. Dead lighters are useful. Shave off some of the plastic, then gently shave some of the flint into the plastic shavings, then spark it, and it will ignite and melt the shavings like candle wax. You could, even just with no fuel, with just the flint, you can spark a fire with it, right? So, anything like this is valuable, full or not. But A full lighter is obviously um, uh, preferred.
Hey, Matthew Telhart, I see you. If you got a Zippo, make sure you got fuel, wicks, and flints. This is why I was saying all the cheapo lighters, even Bic lighters, whenever they run out of fuel, you can actually use the flint from those to be able to keep your Zippo going. And like I said, it could be rubbing alcohol, 151, kerosene, diesel. You can use that all for fuel for the actual lighter itself. It doesn't really matter. I wouldn't use gasoline because it's really stinking, evaporates too quick.
I was going to say the same thing, and it's actually the fumes that are flammable, and the are combustible, so it could be dangerous. So definitely kerosene, diesel, like those should work. I think diesel should work, right?
Yeah, diesel should work. Dark, got a question for you.
Oh, and camping fuels too, like the Coleman fuels, those will work in Zippos, things like that.
I got a question for you and everybody here in chat, and I'm going to give it 30 seconds to see if anybody answers correctly. Does anybody know the actual combustion point of gasoline? And it will freaking surprise you.
What the fuck?
Is that your GPS?
No, dude, it was Google. What the hell? That's crazy. No, it isn't it like 90 degrees or something like that, or 120 degrees.
You're a lot closer when you said 90. Bacon said 500. Armitage said 125. Gasoline actually combusts at 70 degrees. It evaporates way quicker than it combusts. That's the reason why gasoline just doesn't explode randomly. But that's also the reason why if you have a basically empty tank, your car will go up like a bomb if it were to catch on fire versus a full gas tank. It's an air fuel bomb. But yeah, gasoline is 70 degrees. And if it's in a contained environment, it makes a very expansive reach out to the outside world.
Yeah, that was so bizarre. Like she said that there was a Cricket Wireless store that was 17,000 miles away from my house. I think it was something that Light said that made it think, because usually I have it muted, but
Maybe
man,
that's a sign. Pack up right now. Go, dude. Just go.
oh no, I ain't running with what I got at my feet right here. I ain't running. All right, I'm gonna get back to it. All right. Okay.
Do you think we might be able to find this author?
Possibly. And this is a long, like we're only like a tiny bit of the way through it. But I have a guy who was with a group after Katrina. The guy that was on that survived Katrina, he was with a group and he reviewed this information after they interviewed him. So I kind of got some of like the side details, which was, probably, the coolest part. Cool, by cool I mean like interesting and
Hey,
I don't
think. Do you think anybody's interested on having a lawyer come on this coming Tuesday?
possibly any specific type of lawyer.
Personal injury. Obviously, they don't specialize in other things. I do have lawyer friends that do criminal cases like manslaughter, murder one, all that crap, and have went to family law. But just curious because from the legal aspect, even if they don't know what they're talking about, most likely they're going to give you a good answer.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. See what people
I
in the
haven't set
comments.
anything up. I just wanted to run it past you and everybody else.
Yeah, let's see. Sound off in the comments and let us know. All right, I'm going to jump back into it. So the last line that we ended is your specific knowledge can be your food. Learn to fix things. Da, da, da. My neighbor used to know how to make some kind of oil for oil lamps, oil in glass, and a piece of rope. And he was never hungry. He never showed me how he made the oil. That's interesting. I believe he used some type of tree behind his house and a small amount of diesel. I don't know. My point is learn things. People always need somebody who knows how to fix things. It was not survival. It was not a survival movie. It was ugly. We did what we had to do to survive. Nobody wins. We just survived with a lot of bad dreams. Damn. Wasn't it religious? The war? Sorry, man, wrong info. That was not Christian versus Muslim war. It was a civil war with a
Yeah,
lot of
battle
switching between sides.
where it was a civil war. They were fighting over boundaries and territories. And I do believe this is all because of the Soviet Union's collapse.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. It was the collapse of the Soviet Union. And sorry, I'm not going to get into politics. I don't care too much for that. I'm not going into religious stories. I mean, I believe in God as a higher power, and I'm trying to live by his laws. I'm not belonging to any dogma, Muslim or Christian. Who was your support group? My group was only my family, my blood, relatives like uncles, grandmother. In my street and in my town trips, I had some close friends, but my best friends was my family. I never took any stranger in my close group. Dude, words of wisdom. If you had 3 months to prepare today, what would you do? Ooh, this is good. If I have extra 3 months to prepare, probably run overseas. Joke. Okay, now I'm very well aware of how things can go very bad in a very short time. So I have food, hygiene, energy, etc. supply for 6 months. I live in an apartment with some improved security. I have a house with shelter in a village some 5 miles from my apartment. Dang, okay, so that's nice. So he has an apartment and he has a separate house with a shelter in a village 5 miles from his apartment. In that house, also a supply for 6 months. That village is a small community. Most of them are my relatives. Most of them are prepared. They learned from the war. I have 4 kinds of fire weapons, I guess, uh, firearms with 2,000 bullets for each one. Sorry, cannot go into details. Laws are different here for rifles. I like that. I have a big garden with the house and some good knowledge about gardening and farming. I think I have knowledge now how to smell trouble. You know, when everybody is saying that everything is going to be fine, you somehow know that everything is going to fall apart. It's that intuition. I think I have strength to do everything what it takes to keep me and my family alive. Because when everything is going to shit, be sure you're going to do some bad things to save your kids. You don't want to be a hero. You don't want to survive. You don't want to be a hero. You want to survive with your family. I am a nurse. I am a paramedic by the US standards. I am willing to learn from all of you. One man survivor, no chance. Okay, it is my opinion. No matter how well armed and prepared, at the end, you're gonna die. I've seen that many times. Family groups or closest friends with a lot of preparing and lots of different knowledge, I believe that's the best.
Yep, because you have to pass this knowledge around and turn it into community knowledge.
Yeah.
Because if it's not community knowledge, somebody that used to be with us used to say, this isn't for everybody. There's a small percentage that's actually going to understand, do, grow, become more, whatever it is to become self sufficient and find their creator. Well, end of the day, if I know most of the people up and down my street don't know how to grow their own food, and they might be military age males or, knuckleheads or old dirt bags, it doesn't matter. if I'm the only one able to feed my family on my street when all this crap happens, what do you think's going to be coming to my front door, to my side door, sneaking on my yard in the middle of the night? The more people you're able to help with just simple things on growing or just collecting water, most people will never understand. They'll never get it. And they will fall into these, tribal packs to survive or just die off. I don't want to see life get to that point because I don't want to raise my daughter to learn how to throw a boomerang like in Mad Max and all that other crazy shit. It'd be cool. I'll still teach her, but I don't want her to be there. Same time, you don't want to be the person that doesn't have the knowledge and you're going to knock on random people's doors for water, food security, whatever it may be, and you might turn into long pork, or you might turn into fertilizer for their garden in the backyard. We don't know if you're going to be meat or nutrients, or they're just going to say, get the hell off my yard. So just giving y'all a heads up. Nobody wants to be the bad guy, but kind of like what I heard in the end of what Dark was just reading, he's a nurse, but he also admitted that he's had to do bad things to provide for his children.
Yeah.
Family, if I'm not mistaken, he said his children, the older ones, yes, I'll still look out for them, this or that, but your children are the one thing that you need to make sure keeps on going no matter what.
Yeah. Hold on, let me find. Oh, dang it. See, this would be perfect if
Michael Black said LOL light. I don't understand what that's in regard to.
it's Mitchell Black.
Yeah, he said LOL light. I don't know, either he was joking around.
Probably the long fork part.
Oh, okay.
It belongs to, yeah. All right, I'll jump back into it.
Right.
What items should we stockpile? This will be a good one. Thank you. Well, it depends. I guess if you stock only one thing, you are not going to survive, unless you want to survive like a robber. Then you need only a gun and lots of ammo. I believe besides ammo, food, hygiene, and energy, things like batteries, etc. You need to focus on small things. Oh, shit.
Because without batteries, you can't use your electric toothbrush to get good hygiene for oral health care. Just saying, you need batteries for that. Giving y'all heads up, you will not believe how useful just random batteries are. You can connect them in unison, triple A's, double A's, 9 volts, this or that, to be able to run a myriad of different devices. Charge your cell phone, MP3 player, light, whatever it may be. There's a lot of different little plastic tubes on Amazon where they'll say, you put in 6 triple A's into this little tube and you can put it in for a C battery or this or that. And if you don't want to spend the money, you can just go on Google and look at how you can modify 3 to 6 triple A's, double A's, whatever, to be a D cell or a 9 volt, whatever it may be, and be able to power whatever you're trying to operate. There's a lot of cool information out there. I would highly recommend you kind of overview, watch a video here or there, and you can kind of make your own assumption and figure it out pretty damn quickly on how to be able to link the batteries or step up the voltage out of the batteries. It's a very simple process, but at the same time, it can be very helpful if you only have double A's and you need D batteries for your flashlight.
What's up with the bullet in the upper right-hand corner? What do you mean, what bullet? You talking about the blue chem light? or in the yeah, sorry, I don't know what you're referring to. Let me know what you're referring to. I'll come back and check.
I got handcuffs in the upper corner. I don't have a bullet though.
I mean, trust me, we all got bullets, but yeah, probably the blue chem light. The blue chem light is kind of a joke, right? And again, we usually joke lightly about the boog, right? But so the blue chem light is probably the one that's utilized the least out of all colors, right? You usually see people with red, yellow, green, right? So
Also, Brendan Herrera approves.
yes, he does, and he's got one coming to him as well. I got some chem lights on order, but we kind of jokingly the AFT uses the blue chems. Tell me that's a joke, please. Tell me that's a joke.
But
We
he's getting Russian
jokingly,
surplus stuff, so it might not be blue. So just make sure you look for AK Jesus in the boog, and don't kill our savior.
yeah, we like dubstep race parties. Yeah, no, so it all
What was
came
it?
out
Crab
in
rave, Eminem crab rave. They were talking about drinking a shit ton of energy drinks and listening to Eminem crab rave, going to SHOT Show.
oh yeah,
Shot Corona at the Circle Bar, which is Square.
yeah, yeah. So the blue Kim light thing originated from us having a conversation, and it was like, okay, how will we be able to identify each other during the boog to not canoe each other on accident? So we jokingly said, okay, we'll just all wear blue Kim lights. Not only that, we'll distribute blue Kim lights to the homeless people armies that we build.
I forgot about the homeless armies, man.
Yeah, dude.
I love those guys.
Yeah, man. So everyone, do yourself a favor. Get a blue chem light. Get a box of the Ameriglow blue chem lights for like $15. I think they're like $20 now, but you will never be upset. They run for 8 hours instead of 12. But bro, they are bright as ever, and yeah, highly recommended. Um, uh, Chem light, chemical light, glow stick. There's a bunch of different light stick. There's a bunch of different things that people call them. All right, I'm jumping back into it.
Oh, hey, before you jump back into it, Dark, I see somebody talking about AK Jesus. He'll coax him. Just giving you heads up. If you see AK Jesus in the boog, he's most likely going to have an AR in his hands.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah. He was like, it's almost like they're tools or something. When you choose one that fits the best application.
It's like Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita, and all that. Or if you're a Honda, Toyota, Ford, Chevy guy, it's all about talking shit and busting each other's balls. The shit still gets to where it needs to be.
I will say, just while we're on the topic of AKs, then I'm diving back into this because I don't have a lot of time tonight. A lot of you know that I have my Chrome AK. I have my Chrome Draco, and it's chrome with plum furniture on it. Okay. I have never brought myself to either SBR it or put a brace on it because anything that I have to, if I were to put like an underfolder on it, that's a new trunnion, new underfolder, I'd have to completely get it all brushed chrome, hard chrome again. So I'm not going to do that. And the braces that have been out for it suck. It'd be like a big black rubbery thing on a beautiful chrome and plum masterpiece. So today I committed to getting the plum triangle side folder brace from PSA and a Picatinny rail attachment that I will literally drill a hole through the rear of my receiver. I'm going to paint it with a silver alumihide so it'll blend in beautifully and attach the plum brace. So it'll be kind of like an SPR pistol brace setup.
PSA sells plum?
Huh?
PSA sells plum furniture?
They sell so they have a 9 mil AK that takes the 9 mil plum scorpion mags,
Right.
and the they also have a 7.62x39 version as well that has plum furniture. So yes, they do, and they sell. It's never in stock. It is never in stock, but they sell a standalone plum brace for $169, and
And
it
does
attaches
it
via Picatinny rail.
match Soviet plum furniture?
They don't have like, it will match it, but they don't have like actual like Ismash or
No, yeah,
Circle
no,
Pin.
I understand. I'm just curious on like the quality control on how
Oh, bro.
compared to like Soviet stuff.
If I hold these plum scorpion mags up to my Kvar Bulgarian Circle 10, like all that stuff, it matches like 2AT. By the way, for any of you guys that are looking for Circle 10 plum AK mags, I just found one selling a 30 rounder for $495.
Oh, speaking about magazines, I don't know if any of y'all live in an area where there's a place called Rural King. I know in my area right now, 33 round Glock mags, AR magazines, um, the, you know, oh my God, there's like three or four different varieties. One of them, MFT, okay, it's kind of crappy. And then there's Magpul. There's two smoked ones where you can twist them on and they're a double stack where you pull
Yeah,
it out.
the ETS.
Yeah, ETS, and I can't remember the other one, but they're also selling Gen 2 metal AK magazines in there. A shit ton of Glock 19 15 round magazines. I'll put it like this. I'm assuming the way it looks, they're trying to get rid of a lot of stock and assuming the worst because they can always buy more. But right now they're selling this shit for like pennies on the dollar. Giving you all heads up if you want to stock up, even if you get those MFT AR mags. Yeah, they're not the greatest, and a lot of service members bought them thinking they're just as good as like a Magpul. But when it comes down to it, don't load them and then store them for a long time. Load them and use them. That's what they're good for. Um, Other than that, seriously, if you guys have Rural King around your area, I would highly recommend you guys go check that fucking place out because you might be able to get some magazine deals or get your diamond hands moving where you buy a shit ton of AR Glock mags. And when they ban all this shit, now you have fucking a magazine that costs, you know, $300 and it's only a 30 rounder.
Well, and remember, so those plum AK mags, the Circle 10 plum mags,
Yeah.
I got three of them. All right, I got a 10, a 30, and a 40. Those stopped being imported in '01, I think it was. And from '01 to today, they went from being like $30 to almost $500.
Was that under
And
or Bush?
shit, I don't even remember
I
at
think
this
that was,
point.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't even know. But I know that with the potential of these executive orders, what they're going to attack are our the importation laws, right? So what's that going to impact? Well, namely, all that great cheap steel ammunition, if it were ever one day to be, back down to being cheap, that's going to be gone. All your imported AK mags gone. Even U.S. Palm magazines, right? So here's what I have in my cart right now on PSA. So I got some Scorpion mags in there. I got the Twisted T AK mag in there, and I got some of the Croatian steel AK mags because the the shit that's, imported. I know the Scorpion mags; those are U.S. made, I believe. But the shit that's imported is going to be cut down first. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. Do they suck? I just want to get the one. So I don't run any of the US Palm stuff. I just want the one Twisted Tea mag. You guys know I am weird about magazines. I collect the craziest magazines. I got the banana mags. I got rainbow mags. I've got, all those crazy shits. And like, for an example, a purple magazine for XM195 or XM193. I mean, you got to know, or the red. Well, I won't talk about what that's for, but yeah, stuff like that. All right, I'm jumping back into it, guys. Sorry for the little detour, but I'll do this. I will do a video drop when I get the plum brisk on the chrome and plum Draco. Okay, we can't do that on stream. All right. So what to stockpile? Well, it depends. I guess if you stock only one thing, you're not going to survive unless you want to live like a robber. Then you need only a gun and lots of ammo. I believe besides ammo, food, hygiene, and energy things like batteries, etc., you need to focus on small things for trade: pocket knives, lighters, flints. Also, a lot of alcohol, the kind that can stay for long, like has a long shelf life. I mean stuff like whiskey, and that does not important what kind. Oh, so it doesn't matter what kind. You can have the cheapest kind. It is very good for trading in desperate times.
Hey, Dark, I don't want to interject for long, but I'm going to say this one point and then please keep on going. I found a pot still on eBay. I think it's like Vivo or V something. It's either a 5 or an 8 gallon. You can distill water with that. You can also make your own alcohol. And it's like $120 shipped, and it's really decent quality. So at
Nice.
this point where you need alcohol or water or this or that, and like he was saying earlier in the article, there was a neighbor or a friend that didn't explain how he got the lighter fluid or the combustible materials. He kept that close to his chest. Same thing with you. You can have your own small little pot still, make your own water or alcohol, high, low content, whatever it may be. But yeah, I'm sorry, Dark. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, it's important, and it's obviously during the rule of law. It's important to follow all of your local, state, federal rules, laws, regulations, whatever, because in a lot of states, stills are illegal. So be wary or be aware of that. He says also lack of hygiene items killed a lot of people. I've seen that. You're going to need to have some simple things, like, for example, a lot of garbage bags. I mean, a lot. There are many uses for that. And a lot of duct tape. Many, many uses for that. In case of weapon, keep it simple. I mean, now I always carry a Glock 45 with me because I like that gun, but it's not a usual gun and a usual caliber here. So I also have 2 7.62 Tokarev Russian pistols hidden because almost everybody has that gun here and a lot of ammunition. So like the 7.62 by 25 Tokarevs. I don't like the Kalashnikov or the AK, but here there's that rifle in like every third house or so. Most of the time, I collect my water from the roof in 4 big barrels during the war, then cooked it to disinfect it. We also had a river in that town. Too polluted, but if you can't choose, right? Most people in survival situations die because of drinking contaminated water. They get sick and they die. I can't say most people die. I'm saying it is common that people get sick in WROL situations because of contaminated water. So be very confident in your skills of decontamination of water.
And
Okay?
dying from drinking contaminated water is normally from diarrhea and vomiting, and basically
Yeah.
losing your water content through ex- excrementing it. And
Yeah.
also, Detective John Kimball, light does not always interjects. I'm not interjecting right now. I'm just adding to the conversation. I'm messing with you, dude.
That's funny. Um, no porn stars showing up tonight. Yeah, I know. We had Peter North coming to the stream.
Wait,
Dude, if
what?
that,
We have porn stars on here?
he came in to, when I was on with John Crump. Well, a guy whose username was Peter North, and he said he was Peter North, and we looked it up, and apparently he's a big gun guy. So like, it could have very well been Peter North. If it was, I told him like, go to Dark by Dugan, like get in touch with me because I'd love to have you on stream. But
Also,
we'll see.
also, I find it disturbing that you have a favorite male porn star.
Well, I didn't say he's my favorite
I
male
know
porn.
about Ron Jeremy and Dirk Diggler. I don't know any new person today, so I'm just saying you might be on their OnlyFans. Are you, Dark?
5 ATF agents showed up to dislike the video. That's good. I like when people dislike it because those are the people that are going to be coming and begging for your water and for you to fix their whatever.
What was said about disliking the video? I'm sorry, I don't have my ears in and I have bad hearing. I heard something
Five
about disliking.
people,
Huh?
5 people disliked the video.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha.
Yeah, fuck them. Okay, so most of the time I collected my water from Fort Big Barrel. Okay, we read that already. I do not think that I am an expert. I am here to learn. I guess it depends on how far you're going to go to survive. I think your audio is cutting mine out again. It's just kind of
I'm sorry.
popping. You're good. I guess it depends on how far you're going to go to survive with your actions. You need to be prepared to do some ugly things. Oh yes, it changed my perspective on life. I know now that the I know now that bad things can happen. Jeez, sorry guys. And one more important thing, actually I believe it is most important. I don't anyone believe government and authority, not at all. When they really doing their best to assure you that everything is going to be fine, you can be sure that something bad is happening. Do not just believe, research. The scariest thing in the world is, when we say, hi, we're the government and we're here to help. What about the Civil War and the religious fighting? Did gold and silver help much? Fuck no. And how did you get the alcohol and other supplies?
It was called conscription. That's the reason why the Second Amendment was not worded the way they originally were going to word it, because they felt like people would be willing to back out of the war if they didn't feel they needed to be in there. That's why it's well-regulated militia, everybody right to bear arms, all that. But they didn't want it to sound like you could dodge the draft or something along those lines if they needed your help or services. That's why in the Civil War, conscription, basically taking over someone's house, taking over their farmland, slaughtering all their animals, taking their crops, this or that. North and the South both did this to regular people to be able to provide for themselves and for the war effort when supply lines could not reach, to the front line. Dark, are you aware of this? Understand what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's and there's constitutional protections around people's homes with specific exclusion during time of war, right? Like you could have a whole homestead, and if a platoon of soldiers need to come in and live off of your shit, your rights are gone during time of war. That's just the way it is. So he says, "Hello, all. It's me again. I believe in some point the discussion it went the wrong way, and I'm not offended. Everybody has a right for their opinion. So here's a few of my opinions. It was a civil war. Yes, there was a great influence of religion. But somebody mentioned, what did you do with people of other religion? Well, in my family, there are people with different religious beliefs. So what do you do? What did you mean with that? I'll try to explain to you simply. It was an attack. It was an attackers and defenders. A lot of switching sides. Civil war. War ended without winners. It ended with truce. Thanks mostly to the USA. It was the wrong war, wrong reasons. I did not fight for religion or ethnicity. I fought to keep my family and myself alive. For the last 15 years, we've had peace. We live with people who used to be our enemies. I do not want to have war and enemies again because ethnicity or religion or any other reason. Please do not try to generalize anything about the war or that war. There was not good and there was not a good side and a bad side. We all suffered and we all try to live together again. So that's the thing. If some type of war takes place, survival is the number one uh, focus, right? Like hunger is your number one enemy. Thirst is your number one enemy. Really, thirst first, but remember, thirst first, okay? And yes, every side did bad things. Every side had both good guys and bad guys. I'm here for one and one only reason: survival. I want to learn, and I can share some useful stuff with you. I don't think about your religious beliefs, your ethnicity, or your political opinion. Few words about my city before war. It was a usual Bosnian town. Normal life, decent people, schools, theaters, parks, college, airport, crime rate very low, town like most of the smaller towns in the US, I think. I was a young man, just like any of you maybe. Now, very important thing. I am not here to discuss about war reasons or sides, religions, or anything similar. Thanks to the war in my town, it was a real shit hit the fan situation, and we can discuss only about that. Only that is important. You have a lot of internet pages. You can learn everything about the war, and you can choose the side if you want. Okay, that's it. Damn. Go ahead. About survival. I don't know about other people on this forum, but I have a lot of alcohol stacked up now. At the beginning of war, tank grenade smashed front wall of a small distillery, alcohol factory close to my house. So we took something like 500 liters of rakia. It is something like whiskey, I guess. It's made from grapes, very strong. It was great stuff for trading. People used alcohol a lot. Desperate times, I think. We also used it for disinfection. About hygiene, cups and plates, paper or plastic, you're going to need a lot. I know we did not have it at all. My opinion, that hygiene thing is more important maybe than food. You can easily shoot a pigeon. If you have a grandmother, she may know some edible plants on the nearest small hill. That's also huge, and we'll touch on that too, my experience. But you cannot shoot hand sanitizer, water purifying pills, all kind of cleansing stuff, sanitizers, a lot of soap, bleach, gloves, masks, all disposable. Take a very good look, very good care about first aid training. Learn how to treat smaller cuts, burns, or even a gunshot wound. There's not a hospital. Even if you found doctors somewhere, he probably does not have any meds, or you do not have stuff to pay for them. Damn.
Dark, remember when I told you everybody should be going to the pet store and getting antibiotics for animals and fish because they're
Mm-hmm.
not regulated and they're actually at a better quality? Because believe it or not, humans, it doesn't really matter. They can skimp on quality, but when it comes down to livestock, which is a traded equity, um, you actually have to make some of the best quality products to be able to give to that because millions and billions of dollars could be on the line over this kind of crap. But giving y'all heads up, I'd recommend investing in some fish and animal antibiotics that you can get over the counter at the pet store.
Hell yeah.
No doctor needed.
Yep. because there won't be any doctors. And if there are doctors, they're going to be very expensive. And get ready for people to ask to borrow your wife. Learn how and when to use antibiotics and have it a lot. Believe me, with good knowledge and good amount of meds, you're going to be rich. About gold and silver, yes. Me personally, with all my gold for ammunition in that time. Yep. But it was not worth that much. About pets, I did not have any. I did not notice a lot of pets at that time. Did somebody eat them? I don't know, probably. About small family, not good. Usually, few smaller families get together in biggest house and stay together, all relatives in my case. Small family or single man, not good for surviving in a town of shit hit the fan. Maybe in the wilderness. I don't have experience in that. Even if you stay low profile, hidden in your home with a lot of food, etc., sooner or later the mob will come. And you have maybe one or two guns, very hard. I agree with low profile policy. It is very important not to attract people with anything. But when they come, you need to have numbers, people, and guns. Best people is your family. About moving through the city, always nighttime, as I mentioned, never alone. 2 to 3 men, very fast, never attract with anything. Look like everybody else. If most folks look desperate, poor, dirty, you need to look the same. There's no need that everybody know you have a good amount of food, ammo, clean clothes, and everything else back at home. Look and act like everybody else. When somebody attacks you or your family, you need to show that you are very ready. I never walked in big groups in that time, in that situation. A big group is a gang. Now, this is all my experience. It was then. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not an expert. I am here, just like any of you, to learn and share. For example, I don't know too much about wilderness survival. I'm here to check it. Oh, yes, a few things too. The Sadoy, my wife is different ethnicity, and she is also Catholic. I am not. And to answer you, no, I'm not going to shoot her. Oh, man, that's good. I know some couples that have not a suicide pact, but like an agreement that if SHTF starts, that the wife is getting popped in the back of the noggin. What happened to those who died? Where did people get firewood? Well, whoever died or got killed in that period did not get a proper funeral. Folks used to use every piece of free land close to the house for burial, sometimes even in the garden. 2 to 3 city parks turned into graveyards. After war, most of them were exhumed and properly buried. There were not noting there was not noting like burning bodies or there was nothing like burning bodies or anything similar as far as I know. One more interesting thing about fire. Some people used to go a few miles during the night only to find fire somewhere so they can fire a piece of wood and bring it home and start fire for cooking or eating. Okay. Lighters and matches were very precious. And most of the folks did not have enough firewood to keep it always on fire. For most of the people, it was constant search for something: fire, wood, food, ammo. Was salt valuable? It was valuable, yes, but not too much. For example, coffee or cigarettes were worth more. I was going to say coffee and cigarettes. Coffee. Oh, I think it's because light isn't muted. Sorry. You're good. You're
Oh,
good.
I'm sorry, man. I'm muting now. I'm listening though. My bad.
Yeah, it's sometimes the audio pops, and because it's popping on his speaker, it's just bouncing in. That's my bad, guys. Guys, I think I'm gonna have to call it because I was saying I was only going till midnight tonight for wifey because y'all know I'm working on that, and my voice is going out on me, man. I've been talking all day, so I think we're gonna have to have a version 2 about this. Are y'all down to do that?
How far are you through this?
Not even halfway.
What literally, what made you decide that you wanted to read that? Because that is literally so freaking on point.
Dude, it is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I lost the link. And they're like, they go through stuff like, what was your bathroom situation like? What did you do with your poop? What did you do with, cigarettes? Like when there were no more cigarettes that were like, did you guys roll cigarettes? What did you do for tobacco? Did people grow tobacco? Like there was so much good shit. What did you do for hygiene when you didn't have hygiene products? Like, it's incredible stuff, man, and it's so important that we read because we're reading a real life situation of shit hit the fan in a small suburban urban like setting that it's just, this is paramount for us to go through together.
Right. And dude, I will put it like this: me being back for the first time in, couple of days, couple of weeks. Everybody knows I've been on and off. I've been dealing with my son. I've been dealing with my own crap and trying to figure out things. And Dark has given me a great opportunity to be able to sit back and reflect and kind of recuperate and catch my thoughts back up. So I'm no longer pulling out my hair or bottling up all my emotions inside and just blowing up on somebody. Sorry, Dark.
No, man, you're good, dude. You're a part of this, and I want you here as often as you can be when you're ready.
Yeah. I'm planning on coming back fucking full time, as much as I can. Same with you. Whenever you're busy, if I need to take over this or that, we got each other. But yeah, I had to take a little hiatus with all this crap, man. I got a lot of stupid stuff going on. I finally got my head feeling a lot better. And like I mentioned in the comments, I might have mentioned earlier in the video, I recorded a video on, I don't even know what my YouTube channel is, but
Cliff Light.
Say again?
It's just Cliff Light.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to tell me how to change that into dark light builds, whatever. But
Yeah.
like 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I didn't show the building process or anything else like that, but I looked at my chain link fence and I was like, hey, this is where my garden is and I'm going to be expanding upon it. And I know tomatoes need a shit ton of sunlight, but we're here in Florida and sunlight can be really bad. So I put up a shade cloth so now I can grow my beans, cucumbers, all that underneath there. And it's pretty damn sturdy and it was pretty cheap. I used a lot of materials that I had on hand until I had to buy materials I didn't have on hand. But I'm going to be redoing my chicken coop also, and I showed a little bit of it on the video, and kind of turn into like a little chicken palace out of pallets, and hopefully I can find some corrugated tin roofing, or even plastic, or do some sheets of asphalt tile, just like on a regular house. But I'm trying to figure out how to do the DIY and show you how to build it and cut down the time frame, edit it, all that other crap, and also have a place for my phone to be able to record me doing crap. For me personally, it's honestly easier for me just to show you the semi or finished product, and if you have questions, I'll be glad to answer them. We can do a Q&A, whatever it may be. But I definitely want to start getting into the building side. So let me know what y'all are interested in. I got my 275-gallon tote that I need to raise up and start collecting rainwater and distributing it around my plants. Chicken coop, got other things, raised bed gardens. Let me know. I'd be glad to help.
Hell yeah. And that's, it's funny because I was speaking to CRS about this, and he was like, oh, Ted Pill, read something like that on his show recently. And I was like, there's no way that this dude is reading the same exact article. And come to find out, he did literally read the same exact article. So he may have taken my idea, but it's all good. It's all love. It's all love. Yeah. We'll probably have the Ted Pill come on our show as well. He's a good dude. Oh, and 2A ED. So just so you guys know, 2A EDU is probably
What?
going to come on our. Yeah, it's probably going to come on our show. In
I have like
conversation.
4 of his freaking stickers, man. Love them.
Yeah. So 2A EDU, we're working on something. Hank Strange. We're working on getting together with Hank Strange. We are working on Reno May. Reno May.
No, man, he's the Californian dude.
Yeah.
Wait, Hank Strange, is he associated with Black Rifle Coffee? He's one.
No, he's the guy that black dude, mohawk. He used to do a lot of videos with like Safety Harbor back in the day. Yeah.
Gotcha. I was thinking of Crispy from Demolition Ranch and those.
Oh yeah.
I know who Hank is.
Yeah. And funny thing is, I am possibly going to be able to, and it's hilarious because of all the accusations about, we're being like federal agents and ATF agents. I'm actually probably going to be able to get a retired ATF agent to come on the stream. And this isn't just like an ATF agent. This is like an ATF agent that was.
I mean, I'm sorry, guys.
It's just bracelets. It would be getting an ATF officer on the stream that was like a badass, that was like hunting down like badasses that were cranking out like a dozen machine guns a day.
How far out of the ATF is he? Like time frame? Like how many years ago did he retire? Is this like an 80s retiree?
I think he retired like right at the maybe like the beginning of the millennium. So like let's say like around 01 or 05.
But we had plenty of Glocks and all that other crap.
Oh yeah. Like yeah. I mean, I probably would outrage my 308 3006 where I live. That rat snake guy.
Dude, I would love to have Nicholas Irving, the Reaper, on here.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
I don't even want to talk about the war or anything. He's just a cool MFer to talk to. Oh, Calion Noir. I've actually reached out to him a couple of times. I did get a reply back, but I don't think it was personally from him, and nothing ever came from it. I was on my downward slide, and I didn't really keep up with shit. But I would love to get Calion Noir on here. And besides gun people, who are some other people that you're thinking of, Dark, to be able to?
Well, I want to give a gift to John Kimball, so I want to have Voda come on here. I think that's like his number one thing. He's mentioned it like 100 times. Yeah, I think like the coolest thing is like when we go on other people's channels and do more, like it brings more subs to us, it grows our community, and we're given the ability to pass, like, share our message farther and wider, and that's what we want, right? Like imagine like normies being able to hear this information about he's an elite tactical god, high tier special forces trainer. Hell yeah. Dude, we'll reach out to anyone, like literally anyone. More AFT agents, like 2 minutes ago, he said. Yeah, put the heads on right before
the tactical god.
What's that?
Who was Kimball talking about? Who's the tactical god, high tier?
Voda. I think it's Voda Tactical.
Voda. Are they on YouTube? Do I know them?
I don't know if you know them. But I do know that, yeah, they're definitely on YouTube. Um, yeah, but like we also want to hear like who you guys want on, right? Like James Reeves will be coming back on, but he's basically booked till August. Um, so he's going to come back on like July, August. Um,
Dude, if we can get
oh,
if we can get Clint Smith on here, I just want to be able to talk to him personally and hear him say, "Shoot him in the dick, shoot him in the groin," or
dude,
who's the
you know
other
who
guy?
he's talking about? I'm sorry, really
Operator.
quickly.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And hell yeah, I'd love to get Clint Smith on here. He's talking about that guy that like, you know, flies around a corner, gets like 2 inches away from a target, and then like knifes it and then shoots it like muzzle up to it. Like the guy that like muzzles people in his videos, like the guy that like
Boca?
does Voda screens. Oh, dude,
Dude,
I
I'm
didn't even
check out
realize.
his
Now I'm
YouTube.
definitely gonna have him on here.
Hey, who's the other guy? The Israeli guy, Operator Zero, the Israeli guy with the beard. He did the 20-foot, 21-foot test with
I think
drawn
he's
gun.
Italian.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, he is Italian.
Yeah.
Operator Zero. I really don't even know his freaking name. I think that's what everybody calls him. But he's been on a lot of other channels. That dude reminds me of ISF, Israeli Special Forces. Yes, he's Italian, but I swear to God, he reminds me of Israeli Special Forces. And I've actually known a couple of these people. Some of them retired, left Israel, came to the States, raised a family. He had freaking shrapnel damage all over his face and his eye from a grenade that, during a situation that happened, all this other crazy shit. But all the
Yeah.
Israeli Special Forces, whether you agree with them or not on what they're doing around their area, they are some bad mofos. Bad mofos. For
I
real.
agree. They're very bad. Very bad.
But I'd love to have one of them on here and talk about interrogation techniques.
John Rice said that's called infiltration light. It's funny. You know what? I will work on getting Jared with Guns and Gadgets as well because he's close with John Crump. We, yeah, bad actors. That's funny. All right, guys, I'm sorry. My voice is going, man. I gotta cut it. But thank you all. Love all y'all. Light, thank you, brother, for coming back on. And we'll do round 2, and we'll finish everything else in the article.
Hell yeah. All right, gentlemen. Love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I'm not really happy nobody welcomed me back, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not sad about this or bitter.
No, you got some love. You got some love in the beginning.
No,
You did.
I'm
People
just
were
here.
like, "Oh, great to see you. Great
No,
to see you, Light."
I'm happy to be back, and I definitely want to be able to help everybody out. And at the same time, I'm going to turn my other channel into the second channel for Dark Light, and make it Dark Light Builds, and maybe start actually showing you start to finish, projects versus when I get done with them. But if
Oh,
anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to help you out and walk you through every step of the way and try to figure out the cheapest way to be able to get whatever you need done built for your own independence and security. So I'd like to help you out. I got plenty of time right now. Let me know.
yeah. And we what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so sub to the Dark Mavis channel and sub to the Cliff Light channel, right? So we can have some backup. We'll probably transition Light's channel to the DLD builds or whatever we're gonna do. We can
You
even
just
do
have to
like
show me how to change it where it doesn't affect the rest of my Google.
so it will change the name on everything else on your email on. So maybe we can do the other one. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have
so
3 videos on that channel. I don't care. I just want to keep my my name somewhat because I sign into it with everything.
So I am gonna give.
Bacon, what do you mean you didn't mean to hurt my feelings? What did you say?
I'm gonna give Game Over the honors of naming this stream. Can we get the Kool-Aid Man next? The Kool-Aid Man, like the big cartoon red pitcher of Kool-Aid that goes, oh yeah.
I think he's thinking of the Family Guy Kool-Aid Man, where he just burst into every time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Get Sam Hyde on.
Hey, game over. You got the opportunity to name this, man. Come on, brah.
Yeah, man. This is your chance. Your time to shine. You may have gotten off. That's a lot of pressure. Yeah, but you know, pressure builds character. Or is it pressure but pipes? Something like that.
You know what? I like that. That's a lot of pressure. If he doesn't reply back, I think that should be the name.
Ah, that's good. I like that. Name, it could be you. Ask Joe Rogan to come on before he dies.
He's never said anything bad about the Clintons from what I'm aware of, so he should still live.
Yeah. Dick's out for Game Over. All right, I'll name it Dick's Out for Game Over.
Bacon, my channel, I think, literally only has 3 videos, and the first 2 videos are at night, and I'm drunk. The third video was today, and I am.
Oh, hold on. What the hell? Game Over? You can't do that. Game Over just said, and to all a good night. I'm out.
All right, I think that's a lot of pressure is going to be the name.
Game Over. We're giving you the chance to name the stream, brother. If you don't, I'm going to pick someone else. Call it Breaking Bosnia.
Dude, I just read it right when you started.
That's great. Name it R.I.P. Joe Rogan. It's Dick's Out. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe. Be dangerous.
Stay moist.
Stay super moist. All right, y'all. Thank you. Love y'all. Be easy.